folks. Well, we are back up in the mountains today. We have a high wind warning, and bird singing me a song in the distance there. We have a high wind warning, and I went back and forth about going out in the woods today because it's not really the smartest thing to do, but here we are. We are following this old road in search of a late 1700s stagecoach stop. Now, from what I understand, stagecoach stops were every 10 or 20 miles on these old roads, but this one is the last one before it goes right up over the top of this mountain. So hopefully this place got a lot of business. Now, I'm expecting to find remnants of probably a blacksmith shop for repairs, certainly stables for letting the horses rest, and definitely an inn for people to stay the night and get a home-cooked meal. Now, I don't want to call it before we get there, but all of that stuff would have cost money, and we're going to cross our fingers that at least a couple people drop some coins along the way. Now, the landowner did say that I am not the first person here. He has given permission to people in the past to metal detect this place, but you know what? We're going to do our best and see if we can find some stuff that those people may have missed. And from what I understand, we're almost there. We'll be following this stone wall, looking for a break, and it should be right there. I'm going to listen to this bird sing me a song a little bit longer, and then we're going to head on our way. Well, I do believe we have arrived. There is a break in the stone wall right here, which would have been the entrance into this whole area. There's lots of big trees, and just through the way you can see some stone foundations, the old buildings. Now, since people have been here in the past, I'm going to try to think outside the box a little bit today. Flip over logs, down trees if I can move them. Places that would have been inconvenient for people to metal detect in the past. I'm going to get my gear out, start out here on the road, do a couple laps around the building, and see if we can find a few things. Alright, our first target here is a very, very exciting one. Man, this thing is crumbling in my fingers here. That is just the smallest little pewter spoon. Very old. I'm going to say this is probably the earlier part of the 1700s. Old pewter spoon for the traveler's soup. Awesome. Alright, this has got my hopes up. Let's see what else we can find here. Alright, well, I just got a beautiful target underneath this down tree. It's in there. It's like a 70-something. So I'm going to move this tree out of the way if I can. If not, I'm going to break some branches off and see if we can get this out of there. Guess we're snapping off branches. Alright. Oh, here it is. What do we got? That looks like a big piece of melted lead, unfortunately. Yep, piece of melted lead. Well, was that worth it? Nah, I don't think so. Oh well. Could have been anything, right? Alright, let's keep going. 78. A little low for a coin, but you never know. I think I see it. Still in the dirt clump. I think, is that going to be a coin or a big button? Awesome. Definitely a coin. Oh yeah. There you can see Britannia, I believe. The date, which would be at the bottom, is gone, fortunately. Up the side. Well, there is no detail on this side. Well, it does have a Britannia on the back, so it could be one of two things. It could be a British coin, it could be an American state coin, but one thing is for sure, it is certainly a 1700s coin. If it's like a George II British coin, that could be as early as like 1730. I wish we could get a date off it. I wish we could get a positive identification on it. But this alone is some amazing history. just to find in the middle of the woods and the mountains. Beautiful. All right, let's keep going. So today we're having some gusts of wind, and it's not too bad right now. Maybe you can hear it off in the distance, blowing up in the trees. But every once in a while it comes through and the trees start whipping. All it takes is a broken limb above my head. Here comes the wind right now. And it starts moving a little bit, breaks off and falls. And you see something like this. That probably wouldn't hurt me too much. Probably wouldn't knock me out. But then you see something like this. I got caught up in another tree on the way down, and that would have been not good if I was underneath that. If the wind picks up anymore, we might want to think about getting out of here. I don't want to have something like that land on my head. But right now, I feel like we're pretty okay. Not smart, but okay. Let's keep going. Alright, well, we just found what I believe is called a snaffle bit for a horse. Not exactly sure how this would work, if part of this went in their mouth or what. I'm not really a horse person, but pretty sure that's what this is called. And I have found many of these in the past, but this is the first I've ever found that's like flat right here, flat and square. Looking at this, it actually is kind of pretty. It has like a twisted pattern to it. This was very clearly hand forged by a blacksmith, likely several hundred years ago. It makes a lot of sense being here at a stagecoach stop because, they'd be coming in with horses and they would need to be stables and to feed them and give them water to drink and take care of them, let them rest the night. Imagine they went through these, probably offered them for sale as well. All right, that's a good find. Let's keep going. All right, in amongst this iron here, pretty nice target. 57. There it is. Awesome. Look at that piece of a colonial era shoe buckle. Looks like there's a interesting pattern on here, unlike one I've seen before. Oh yeah, look at that. Little wavy pattern. Very cool. Colonial era shoe buckle. I'll take that. I wonder if the rest of it's around here somewhere. Beautiful. Alright, let's keep going. See if we can find some more stuff like this. Alright, well, this is kind of an interesting iron find. When I first found it, I thought that it was just going to be a nail. And then I noticed this side has been forged into like a square. This is, I believe, just an iron nodule, something that grows on iron when it's been in the ground for a long time. It was bigger, I knocked a bunch of it off, but I assume maybe it went into a handle of some kind, or maybe, I don't know. You let me know what you think. Interesting anyways. Let's keep going. Alright, well, I just got a little chirp of a high tone, and I got most of the hole cleared out, and then it still was not a very good target, but I dug a little bit more, and I'm pretty sure we have a copper coin here. What do you think? Let's get this off. It was very deep, so I'm pretty optimistic that we're going to be able to identify this. The back fell off. That looks a lot like a large cent. This side looks like it's going to be a drape bust, but we've got a little bit of crud still left on here. I'm going to hit it with my toothbrush, see if we can get it cleaned up and read the date. Jeez. I don't know if you heard that. I thought this tree was going to come down on me. Alright, let's look at this coin. Man, that cleaned up pretty awesome. There's some of this verdigris. We can read the date, 1802. We flip this over. Look at that side. That is incredible. Again, I have to assume it's because it was so deep and it was somewhat protected from the water, from the rain and snow. Alright, well that is a very good sign. Falls right in the timeline, what the landowner said, that this stagecoach was here. Let's keep going and see what else we can find here. Alright, well I've been walking around detecting, and the cellar is right here. And I just came across what I think is the well. It's not completely covered. I don't think I would have disappeared down it, but we'll cover it up better before we go. Let's take a look at it. What do you think? I think if we lift this one out... Oh yeah. That is a well. What do you think? You see down there? And it's going to be impossible for you to judge how deep that is, but it looks like probably about 15 foot to the water, and then who knows how deep it is beyond that. And it looks like the sides, they did a good job laying up those stones. Those are pretty smooth. If I fell down there, I don't know if I'd be able to get out, to be honest with you. So this well here would have served countless travelers coming through. You know, whenever you find things like this, it's always interesting to put it in a context of, you know, who was here, who was using it. There would have been many buckets coming out of this well day to day. Pretty interesting. Let's keep metal detecting, work our way around the cellar a little bit more. Alright, well it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I have been finding a lot of fragments of this iron. Now this looks like it has a design on it, but I do not believe it was made like that. I think this is just a fragment of a cooking vessel. It would have been cast iron, not unlike our cast iron skillets and Dutch ovens that we still use today. This is what they would have been using over the fire. It would have more than likely had little feet on the bottom and a handle on top to hang over or whatever. This makes a lot of sense being here. They would have been serving fresh, hot meals to the travelers. Let's keep going. Alright, well once again we got a very unassuming mid-tone. I thought was going to be another button, and it is another copper. And I just took a peek at it, and I'm pretty excited. You see that? When I first took it out, I saw that star, and I thought that it might be a button. And then I flipped it over. It's definitely a coin. And this could be one of two things, and I'm not sure what it is. It could either be a Nova Constellatio, which is the first coin minted under the authority of the US, something I've never found. Or it could be a second design for Vermont copper, which is also something I've never found. It would say Nova Constellatio around the outside, and if it was a Vermont copper, it would say Stella Corta something. Very exciting for me. Also, you know, just to be holding a coin from 1780s is incredible. You can really only see it under the right light. There's an eye and there's sunbeams coming off of it. Fortunately, not much on the back. Incredible. Alright, let's throw it in the pack. Keep on going. Alright, well, this was a very quiet mid-tone. I pulled the top off. Now, it's like a 77. Yeah, it's a button. Alright, That was going to be another coin for a minute there. Nope, just a button. Tom back. Yeah, you can see how it shined up on my jeans. Cool. Yikes, wind's picking up. Let's maybe start thinking about getting out of here. Stuff is falling out of the trees everywhere. Oh, pine cones. All right, let's spend a little bit more time. All right, well, I just kicked a log out of the way here, and I just got a beautiful target. It's like a 87. Let's see. 92. Still down there. Now it's a 92. Oh, it's in my hand. What do we have here? Is that a coin? Man, we have been having a good day with coins. What do you think? Alright, I gave it a little wipe on my pants. See that? Bust facing right. And just under the right light up here, you can see the VS for George's. And, since the bust is facing right, we're going to call this a George III British halfpenny. The back is completely smooth. The front's quite smooth as well. It looks like it's almost polished. This was floating around in people's pockets for a long time when it was dropped. Very, very cool. Alright, well, let's see, 4 coins today. I call that a pretty good day. Let's start packing up, see what we found today. Alright, well, on that note, we had a good day with coins today. You know, the landowner had said people have been here metal detecting in the past, and I wasn't super optimistic that we were going to find a lot of stuff today, but there must have been a lot of travelers coming through, dropping their money, and we found quite a bit of it today. Let's see what we found. Alright, for iron items over here, we have our kind of mystery punch, maybe? Blacksmithing tool for punching holes. There almost certainly was a blacksmith here. Let me know what you think. We found a couple little buckles here, more than likely horse tack, and of course the bit, which I'm very excited about. I've never seen one so cool like that, all twisted up. A whole bunch of buttons down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 buttons. We have 2 utensil handles. We got a shoe buckle fragment. I was not, unfortunately, able to find the rest of it. Those are always very exciting to find. For coins here, we have our kind of unidentified British coin. We can see the Britannia, not much else. It might be another George III coin, which is what this is, but you know, it's impossible to say. Have our large cent, which is beautiful and can clearly be identified, and the date is even there. It was in 1802. And I was able to take some time and very carefully rub this, and it dried out just a little bit. And this is 100% a Nova Constellatio copper coin. The first coin minted under the authority of the new United States. Very exciting for me. I've never found one. It's a whole lot of history and a tiny little thing. Alright, well, if you're seeing this, I made it out of the woods just fine. Nothing landed on my head. Although there's stuff flying out of the trees everywhere around me. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.